probably fed up with watching dozens of online courses that you probably won't finish. You might be overthinking your approach to learning a new skill for a new job you want. Maybe you want to move up in your current job or business. You could be like me and obsessed with learning. Or maybe you just have multiple interests and you want to absorb more information in less time. Fortunately, I've always been a quick study. I'm the person that people usually snark at because I got good grades in school. I don't think I'm necessarily smarter than anyone else. I just think that subconsciously I followed a method of learning that worked really well for me, that allowed me to absorb a lot of information without studying so much. So some have referred to this method as accelerated learning, the Feynman technique, but in this video we're going to be calling it smart learning. Smart learning is my method of study that led me to a career in tech as a machine learning engineer, where I get to learn constantly. I get to get paid more than double my old salary, and I can create a lifestyle that I can thrive in daily. Today I'm going to be showing you how to leverage highly valuable skills like problem solving, coding, and many other soft skills that you might want to learn that will give you a leg up in your career or business. So what is smart learning? This is going to be a 5-step process that you can use when you're trying to learn a new skill to break it down in a format that's going to help you retain more information. So you want to study, make an experiment, attain the MVP, review, and transform or terminate. I'm going to break these down step by step. So for study, you're going to want to plan your method of execution. Having a game plan is always a good thing because you kind of outline how you're going to approach your method, right? So you want to first study your current mindset. So the thing is that belief is one of the most powerful indicators of your success. If you don't believe that you're capable of doing something, you're going to embody that. And the same is true that if you believe in your success, that is more likely to happen. Some of you may know Jim Quick. He talks a lot about learning and how to learn faster. He said that learning is state dependent. So if you read a book page over and over and you still didn't comprehend the 4th, 5th, 6th time that you've read it, you are probably in a bored state. So the best way to learn is to access your state. So learning is information plus emotion. You may have noticed that you are more inclined to read a book and absorb the information in it when you were excited about the topic at hand. So now you want to study your topic. So this is the part where most people actually fail though. The key is to actually time box your research so that you're not studying for hours and hours or even days and never getting to the meat of the topic. So all the research in the world will only get you so far. You're going to actually want to apply your knowledge as soon as possible. So as an example, if I want to learn how to code, I'll probably watch a few walkthroughs on how to write Python for 30 minutes. And then the next 30 minutes, I'm going to figure out how I can use that knowledge in a more practical setting. So what I might do is get into a small project that I can work on. You're going to want to solidify your knowledge by teaching someone what you just learned. So this is called the Feynman technique, where you break down a concept as if you were explaining it to a child. You want to make sure that your level of understanding is good enough so that you can break it down this far. The next step is make an experiment. So you actually want hands-on experience with this skill. So ask yourself, what is a real-world application that you can use your skill in? This is often called active learning or project-based learning. Once you have a basic working knowledge, you're going to need to apply that knowledge. So if you find that you're usually overthinking, you're going to want to take action right away. Look at your current situation in life and figure out how you can apply this skill to something directly related to you. Choose a project that's either at or slightly above your current skill level. Going back to the coding example, if I know some basic Python, I can start a project in GitHub and build a simple app that will allow me to automate a daily task like handling emails. If you're learning something like public speaking, you probably learned about eye contact and vocal projection. Now you can practice this skill by giving presentations to your friends or implementing these tips that you learned at school or work. This is actually 10 times more effective than just studying because you're directly working on something that's relatable to you. It might be tempting to add a lot more functionality to your project or research every single skill there is in public speaking, but don't do this. We'll talk about this in the next step. So you're gonna wanna attain an MVP. This is gonna be the minimum level of effort or a minimum viable product so that you don't get overwhelmed and quit. So a minimum viable product is basically a project or an outcome that is the simplest form of your understanding or a deliverable that you should attain as quickly as possible that addresses the most important aspects of the topic. See, what happens is when we chase rabbit holes and we dive into a topic in which we're doing endless research, we end up quitting because of burnout or lack of direction. So for coding, you might want to come up with a script that's a hello world to send an email out automatically. For public speaking, you might want to find 2 or 3 techniques that you can practice on for a week or 2. The next step is going to be to review. So you want to evaluate your MVP and see how you can improve upon it. Ask yourself if you need to practice it more to fully understand it. Are you skilled enough to break it down into simple terms that a child would understand? Are you able to use this skill already to get a job or market yourself? So you basically want to find out what your weak links are in your project or performance and write those down as action items. In your coding project, you might find that you need some advanced tools to get your project to do what you need it to do. Or you might find that your speech is lacking engagement from your audience. This is your opportunity to get feedback or find resources that will improve your experience and realization of the new skill. The last step is going to be transform or terminate. The last step is to repeat the process with your new insights or decide that you've completed your mission. If you're improving your process, you might want to review your findings to learn how you can implement them into your new project. Your coding app might require you to learn another language like SQL to access a database, so check out Stack Overflow on how to integrate Python with SQL queries. If your speech lacks engagement, you might want to look up 1 or 2 techniques to add. Maybe ask your audience more engaging questions or learn how to get them to participate while you're talking. So to wrap this up, with this simple framework, you're going to be cutting your learning time in half. Imagine finally getting that job you want because you implemented smart learning into your life, or getting more clients from being more persuasive about your stellar service. I used to start a ton of courses on YouTube, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning that I never finished because I didn't understand the psychology of high-performance learning. Now that I do, I'm learning several new skills like online business, writing, marketing, and more. So if you want to keep getting smarter, consider subscribing to my channel and my newsletter called Lifestyle Engineering so that you can learn how to design a high-performance lifestyle that pays to harness your unique skill set. And if you learned something useful from this video, please go ahead and like. So I want to know, what skill are you going to use this system to learn next? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, learn smart.